So now you're down to working from home. Maybe it's company policy, maybe it's your own personal preference, but most probably it's the flu. Or it's more than a flu, let's call it the world flu. Lots of folks are locked down, stuck at home, and have to work from home. Today I'm going to point out 6 things that will ensure that your productivity is totally dead and you can literally get nothing. Avoid these 6 things and you'll be ready to get your work done whether or not you have a home office. Okay, let's dig in. My name is Dickenns and I make videos here on YouTube to share with you ideas and tips to improve yourself and to get the most and the best out of your digital life. If you'd like that kind of stuff, kindly consider subscribing to this channel and turning the notification bell blue so that you do not miss any of the videos I have lined up for you. Thank you. Straight up, before we proceed any further, let me break this down for you. Of the 6 killers of productivity you need to address, 3 are related to your workspace, that is your place, and the other 3 are related to your very own self, that is your person. So at the end of it all, you need to check out the 2 P's, place and person. Let's start off with probably the most common pitfall to a productive working at home setup, and that is the cock-up that results from the demands of the home mixing up with the demands of your work. So let's say you dream of spending time with your 3-month-old baby while working on your brand new company. And so you've set up at your dining room table with big plans to master being an at-home dad and a business owner. You'll quickly notice that a baby's quest for milk and new diapers are no joke. They could even be more draining than the demands of all your clients combined. So you plan to ship off the baby to a daycare facility to give yourself some bit of peace. But as soon as you sit down at your dining room table, you notice a bunch of clothes that need to be put away. You notice all these dirty pots and pans that need some cleaning. The doorbell rings because the plumber has just arrived, and it goes on and on. At the end of the day, you are like, what exactly have I done today? Where did all the time go? In as much as many companies are starting to be more flexible and developing some work at home policies, most of us are just not prepared to delineate the home from work. And especially at this point when many have been forced to work at home because of the prevailing circumstances, they're even much less prepared and with much less guidance and training on how to pull off the transition. Let's face it, most of our brains are just not wired to mix and balance home and work on the same scale of place and time. Let me propose 2 solutions that might help you achieve the delicate balance and avoid ruining your career with house chores or your family life with tons of work. First off, you need to create specific boundaries for both time and space for not just yourself, but both your family and yourself. That means setting aside a specific spot which even the youngest child in your family identifies with work and not play. Then you need to communicate with whoever you share your space with and develop cues that let them find out when you are working and wouldn't want to be disturbed, and when you're on a break, even if it is a small sign on a table. The second idea is to develop consistent working hours, even though you're working from home. If your normal working hours would be 9 to 1, then 2 to 4 in the office, you would adopt a near similar program at home with probably less hours and more flexibility. But just get up early enough, take your shower, dress up, and go to work. Yeah, at your dining room table or somewhere. Now you've gotten up early enough and you've set yourself up on your spot ready to work. There was a time when people had pencil holders, staplers, tape dispensers, and other desk supplies readily available and laid out in a consistent place on their desks. But nowadays most things have moved over to the laptop screen with very little paper in sight. But chances are you use at least one of these desk supplies each day. But you still have some stuff on your desk apart from your computer, be it a water bottle, a book, a handkerchief, and so on. If your desk isn't organized in a consistent manner, then every time you need a desk supply, you have to drop what you've been doing and look for it. Plus, a disorganized desk just kills the vibe and the motivation to dive into the task at hand, you just start feeling tired. It doesn't even end at the desk. With less stuff on the desk nowadays, we have all moved to the desktop. So now stuff happens on the computer screen. If your computer looks like this, chances are you'll waste quite some time looking for a certain file you don't remember where you last saw it. I have a video coming up on how to organize your computer to enhance your productivity. So let's leave this whole scenario for that video. For now, let me suggest one quick fix for your computer to get you working smarter. I personally use a nifty little app called Everything, and it's free, which in my opinion is way more useful than the built-in Windows search. You could give it a try, but for your physical desk, there's no other way around it. You'll find that setting aside even just 15 minutes every morning to organize and declutter before you start working will boost your drive to work and help you save much more time looking for stuff around the place. There's a chance that there's all sorts of noises around your home that just can't let you concentrate on the task at hand. Maybe it's children playing outside, or the neighbor's dogs that just can't stop howling like foxes because they've been locked up hungry all day. Or it's just your brother on a call with his girlfriend all day long. Or even something as simple as the clock ticking away. Whatever it is, if you can passively listen to it, chances are it is distracting you. And you need to do something about it before it hinders your workflow. You can start by turning off any sources of noise that can be turned off, radios, TVs, and so on. Kill those first. Then for the noises you cannot really turn down, a bit of creativity is called for. You could just adjust your timing so that you work the most during the time that your neighbor is not repairing his truck, for example, if he does that consistently on the daily. Then another hack is just to put on earplugs or headphones. Technology has advanced. There are now several active noise cancelling headphones on the market that do quite a good job cancelling ambient noises while you listen to maybe some inspiring classical music as you work away. One of the best noise cancelling headphones I can recommend is the Sony 1000X Mark III. I will leave a link down below in the description so that you check it out. And while at it, let me also point out that some people tend to concentrate and work better with some background noise rather than in a completely silent environment. In that case, you could try out listening to some white noise. Just search white noise on YouTube. Select your pick and off you go. So far we've discussed the killers to your productivity that arise from your space or your place. If you've been getting value up to this point, I'd appreciate if you smashed that like button below. It helps YouTube know which videos are benefiting people so that it can suggest them, and that helps both my channel and potential viewers. Thanks again. Now, let's look at a few pitfalls that are connected to yourself, that is your person. The first is poor posture. I know that many of us are working at home right now as a stopgap temporary measure until the world flu comes down. But who knows how long that might take. It could go on for another month or two, and God forbid, even more than that. If for 3 months or more you're stuck at your less than recommended seat for say 6 hours a day, do you know that you could end up at some of our offices? So because I prefer you seeing my face on YouTube rather than at the hospital, let me give you a few tips to ensure that you don't end up with lower back pain while working at home. Start by choosing the most ergonomic seat and table you can find. Ideally, you should be sitting upright and with a straight spine, and if possible, the lower back should be supported, even if that means adding a pillow on the seat. Avoid the sofa with the same zeal you are avoiding the world flu. You should also avoid hunching over the laptop as that curves your back. If you have to, get the laptop on top of some books or something so that the top of the laptop is at eye level when you sit. That helps to keep your back straight. If you can, proceed to even get an external keyboard and mouse so that you use the laptop as a monitor, or even get a real monitor from the office if that is possible. Once you have everything set up properly, next you need to plan your work such that you can regularly stand up and stretch, or even do some work while standing every so often. A popular method is the 25-5 technique, where you concentrate on working for 25 minutes, then you take a 5 minutes break and repeat that cycle a few times. You can use an app like Forest to time yourself and to get that cycle going. Again, let me leave a link to the app down in the description box below. Chances are your brain desperately wants to help you to predict what you are supposed to do next. So if you're around apps and devices that often need to be checked, then your brain will interrupt you every few minutes to remind you that you're supposed to now check your email, phone, and so on, and social media, and news. Maybe your brain says that you now need to catch up with the health minister as he is about to give his daily update on how many people have got the world flu. Your brain thinks it's being helpful, but odds are good that you don't actually need to check your email every 5 minutes. Plus, each time you do, you're losing valuable time from the task at hand. Let me suggest 2 solutions to this notion. First, just pack away your phone somewhere, maybe in a drawer. That will go a greater distance than you imagine to rid you of distractions. For many of us, the biggest hindrance to actually accomplishing the task at hand is actually reminders of other tasks that probably don't have to be accomplished right now. And this come in form of notifications. So if you can't put away that phone for 2 hours, maybe disable the notifications for a while. My second suggestion is that you actually turn off your internet if you are not using it to work or study. That internet connection on your laptop or phone may just be what is giving you all the ideas to wander away from the task at hand. So check out that too. With new environments come new challenges. You might have got used to a certain workflow in the office with colleagues across from you that you can hit up for something, or the occasional joke shared in the office, or maybe just a certain routine with a lunch break or tea break to look forward to. All this may not be the case at home. There may be no manager to give you the usual morning briefing, and no office assistant to run the usual office errands to other offices and so on. All these changes may actually leave you demotivated. You might also find yourself procrastinating, putting off tasks that you would ideally have accomplished on the go. The freedom to work at your own pace and during your own hours elicits laxity. I suggest you also alter your normal workflow and try new tips and tricks every day to find out what works at home for you. You need to understand that with greater freedom comes greater responsibility. You have to be more intentional and find intrinsic motivation. Maybe you should draw up a weekly work plan and follow through with it. Allocate each task sufficient amount of time, which you do nothing else but that specific task. At this point, let me call for solutions from you guys. I'm curious to know what differences you've encountered if you've recently started working or studying from home. How do you guys manage to get the motivation to actually get stuff done with all the changes around? I'd be happy to check out your comments below. So let's continue this discussion in the comment section. Thanks in advance and thank you for watching. See you in the next one. As always, no pressure.